Hi, I'm Madison and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a brand new weekly reading vlog for you. I'm so excited to start this vlog. I wanted to start it earlier because I'm currently reading a book that I'm absolutely in love with at the moment. It is called A Nanny for the Neighbors by Lily Gold. It has this really cute cartoon cover. It is absolutely amazing. It is a surprise baby reverse harem. So you're following this girl who lives in this apartment complex and she's always crushing this guy who like lives in the apartment above her. And she's a nanny, but she's been out of work for a year. This is set in London. And then one day, the guy from upstairs that she's been crushing on comes down and is like, hey, we have a baby, we need your help. And she's like, oh, okay, like what? Goes up there, finds out that he lives like his two other roommates, and all three of them used to shag this chick who had a baby 6 months ago and like doesn't want the baby anymore, just let the baby on their doorstep. So these three roommates who are constantly, in polygamous relationships, I guess, don't know whose child it is out of the three of them, knows it's one of them, and like have this baby all of a sudden, and they're all these busy men, they don't know what to do with their lives. And she like ends up being hired as their nanny because she lives below them, and I mean, she's a nanny anyway. So there's the three guys. You have got Jack, Cyrus, and Sebastian. Sebastian's the very like orderly, cleanly, like stoic one. You have Cyrus, who's the super flirtatious one, and then you have Jack, who's like the really sweet, like nerdy guy, who's the one that she initially had a crush on. Her name's Beth. And it is absolutely amazing. I have been smiling and just giggling and laughing. Like it's just like a feel-good reverse harem, and it's very different from other reverse harems because of the fact like she meets them and like knows off the bat that like they've been in like sharing relationships before. And it's so funny because they're like, dude, we don't want to scare her away with like a threesome off the bat. It is some of the funniest stuff because like they're so used to it, and she's like, I have no idea what any of this means, but she's like such like a genuinely like, just, like nice person, and it's just like such a good human being, and like the baby is so adorable. And she's like, these three guys have no idea what they're doing. They all have their own jobs. They also all work together at like a gaming company because Jack made a video game, and so like Cyrus is like the promoter for it because he's a male stripper and he is so hot. I loved him. I knew he was a male stripper. One of my favorite scenes was like, you didn't really know what his job was until like halfway through the book. I don't consider this a spoiler, but then halfway through the book, she goes to the strip club with her gay best friend. And when they get there, it's like a Magic Mike show, and Cyrus comes out and he's like, hey, and she's like, hey, oh, and he's like, oh, and they're like, oh my God. And he's like so embarrassed. He's like, oh my God, you don't think, because like his parents don't like him since he's a male stripper. He's like, you don't think anything worse of me since I'm a male stripper. And she's like, are you kidding me? That was so hot. And he's like, are you sure? And then they bang in the closet at the club. And not only that, but he flips her upside down and basically like Spider-Man kisses her, but Spider-Man kisses her vagina. It's the best scene ever. Anyway, that's my first update for this. I'm halfway through it at the moment, so I'm gonna give you guys that, and I love it so much. I'm so excited. And they're so cute. I don't even know who my favorite is. I love Jack and Cyrus so much because Jack is so adorable because like this nutty little gay guy. I love it. It's so good. Okay, I'm gonna go. Hello. Okay, so I just finished. Oh God, the lighting is not. Freaking love the shit out of it. It was actually so amazing. I was hoping to update you guys actually as I was reading it, but I got to the 75% mark and just like so much shit ended up going down. Like I could not for the life of me like stand up and go get my camera. Our main character, just for like reference for anyone who might find this is like a content warning, she did grow up in the foster care system, and so she has a lot of like abandonment issues and like is trying to find her birth mom and things like that. So if that is something that you are sensitive to do know that that is a part of the book, and it is a like big part of like Beth's journey. So like, oh my heart, but I loved it. I loved it. Not a full 5 stars because I don't know, it was a very long book, and it's not that smutty and spicy. Like, yeah, there's like some really great scenes in it, but it's not like the main point of it. Like it's definitely more of like a plot driven reverse harem, which is not something that you actually normally get. So it's a kind of like very fresh take for a reverse harem personally, which I think I've said a couple times now. I'm excited. I definitely want to read more from this author, so we'll see what it's going. I do have 2 arcs I also want to read that are romances, so I'll pick those up next and give you guys more updates later. So I'm in the process of going through a lot of my old books that I need to get rid of, that I put in storage. There's more, trust me. But I found an Easter egg. I didn't even know I owned these. How cool is that? I'm really excited because all my Christina Lauren books were in here, and I haven't read Christina Lauren yet, and I want to read her. So managed to find these again, which is really nice. I literally just finished working out an hour ago. I finished working out, came out here, and I'm sitting out in the Las Vegas sun in my garage doing this. I'm literally sweating so much. I'm so gross. But yeah, you guys get this little bonus content. So sometimes I get asked if I read Cassandra Clare. The answer is yes. I just didn't have them all with me. Like, this is all my Sarah books as well. Let me, what do I got here? On my last name, Sarah. What the hell oh, look at these. This is my original. Oh my god, look how old it is. Okay, yellow. It's probably still got the, yep, that's the good old Borders sticker right there. When did I buy this? Does it say 2010? I reread it when I first joined BookTube. That's so crazy. Look at that. Oh, I don't remember rereading City of Ashes. Did I? Did I block that out? I must have blocked out rereading that. What else have I got in here? But no, here's this lullaby by Sarah Dessen. And I even got to meet her. See, it's signed! Which is so exciting. Literally one of my favorite books of all time, hands down. Hello, okay, so it's day 2 of going through boxes. Today's box is this beauty right here. This has got a bunch of my books from back when I was in high school. So these are all my high school books that I read when I first moved here. So I guess a little bit of middle school as well, like the US. So I moved in 2012. So this is like 2012, 2016. These are some of the books that I was reading that I ended up keeping. Literally right away, found one of my favorite books of all time. I actually read Tomorrow When the War Begun when I first came to America in 2010 as like part of a family trip. Seriously, one of the best Aussie books ever. Also really like this book. Love this one too. This one, not so much. Not gonna probably keep that. Oh my god, does anyone remember this book? Oh my god, that's so funny. What else do we got in here? The Dream Factory, I remember this book too. Oh, what was this one? Oh, I didn't like that one. I remember that. Oh my god, this book. I kept this one. I remember reading it, and then I remember Selena Gomez saying that she was going to make a movie of it. I think she finally is, but I kept this after all this time too. Oh my god, these are some of the first like spiciest books I read. Oh my god, how? Look at these covers. Do you see that one? And then this one here. Oh my god. This is so funny. Oh, who remembers all of these classics? Oh, look at them. Oh my, I remember this one specifically. She gets struck by lightning and then has like all these superpowers, bruh. So I don't know if you guys had this series like here in the US, but this was one of my favorites right before we moved to America. I adored this series so freaking much. Look how much this cost though. This was $17.95, like Australian dollars. Like, how tiny is this book that it cost that much money? Isn't that nuts? Now this is a massive throwback. I own the first 3 books of this. I'm not keeping these ones. These ones I'm gonna give back away, but dudes. Hello. Okay, so I haven't updated you guys in a couple of days because obviously, as you guys saw, I was packing all those books and going through all those books. We did donate all my hardcovers to the library here that is near me, and then we donated the rest to just Goodwill. That's, if anyone was wondering. I did start American Roommate Experiment by Eleanor Armours, and I was 6 pages in, wasn't 100% feeling it, so I actually just switched this morning to Lizzie Blake's Best Mistake by Mazey Eddings, which is one of my most anticipated books of this year, okay? I am currently, that's the helicopter. I'm currently only 26 pages in. 26 pages in, and I am loving it. In love with this book. Love my ass off right off the bat. You're following Lizzie. Okay, Lizzie is a mess. She has ADHD. She doesn't like to take Adderall because it messes with her, and she's been kind of things aren't going well. She's unable to hold down a job. She keeps getting fired from everything. She's not really sure what she's doing in her life. She kind of uses sex as like a release for everything. It's the only time that her brain like quietens down. She's like a hit it and quit it kind of terminology. But she goes out, matches with this guy on Bumble, is like, you know what, I just got fired from, like, I'm probably gonna get fired from my job, so I'm just gonna go bang a dude. He seems kind of nice. Gets there, at the bar for like a couple hours. Dude doesn't show up. She's like, that's it, I'm done, I'm gonna leave. Here's an Aussie accent. It's like, oh my god, is this a hot Australian man next to me? It is. His name is Rake. Okay, so the two of them end up having a one-night stand together. Well, I know it's a two-night stand. I already know what this is about. This is about them having a two-night stand and then she gets hashtag pregnant, which is not great, but I don't know how it's gonna happen. He's only here in the US on like a business trip for work, so like I don't know what's gonna go on here, but I'm loving it so far. So 26 pages in, they are banging, and it has been hilarious. The reason why I love Mazey Eddings so much is because her humor is 100% my kind of humor. I was smiling, giggling. 25 pages in, I already got 4 tabs in 25 pages, and I'm about to put in more. Like literally, he pulls out his she sees his when she takes off his and she goes, that is your and he goes, I can put it away. He like starts getting really self-conscious when she sees it because she's like just so blunt. He's like, okay, I'll put it away, and she goes, no, it's just I was hoping to walk tomorrow, like you're totally fine. And he's like, well, if you keep speaking at it like that, I'm guaranteed it'll shrink a little bit. I'm dead. It's so funny. Her humor is priceless. But I am kind of curious to see how the guy's gonna work out. It's only 25 pages in, so I don't know if I'm gonna like him or not, because the author is an Aussie, so I'm always very like 50-50 about that, because I don't want the portrayal to be like super stereotypical or like X, Y, and Z. So we'll see how that part of it goes, but so far so good. He's doing pretty well. He's from Sydney, which I don't like. I prefer Melbourne, that's where I'm from. But anyway, that's my update for now, and I'll catch you guys up later. Bye. Okay, so I'm currently halfway through the book, and I wanted to come on because, well, a couple of things have happened. Obviously, she knows that she's pregnant. He knows that she's pregnant. He is going to move to the US because he has dual citizenship, surprisingly enough. And he was offered a job to transfer to the US, but declined it, and now is like taking it so that he can be with her. But the best thing that happened is that she needs a job because she was fired from her job because of her adult ADHD. She's unable, she just, anyway, regardless, she just interviewed for a job at this like bakery that looked kind of suspicious, and she gets, and the woman's like, I like your aura, and she's like, oh, what is my aura? Anyway, they meet, and the woman's like, okay, like, you seem great, but I need to let you know, like, are you okay if I have like a side business, like a lucrative side business? And Lizzie's in there, and she sees brownies on the counter, and she says, oh, pot, it's fine. I'm not a narc, like it's fine if you sell pot brownies on the side. And the woman's like, oh, no, not that, it's something much more lucrative. And Lizzie's like, what is more lucrative? And she goes, I sell erotic baked goods. This woman sells vagina cakes. I'm dead. And it's so funny. So now she's gonna be baking erotic, like it's so good. And it's so funny. Lizzie's so for it. She's like, oh, I've been trying to make phallic croissants for years now. I'm like, I have got you. So now she's an erotic baker. Not what I was expecting. I'm so here for it. A big part of this though is Lizzie's neurodivergence with her adult ADHD, and kind of the way that people have always treated her, and people think that she's just like lazy and untrustworthy and stuff like that, and like the pressures that she's always felt, and how she's like breaking down obviously because of the hormones, but she's like, I feel like no one ever feels like they can trust me, and she's like, not that I don't want to do this stuff, it's just that like my brain doesn't work that way. And it's so sad, but like you know, because like one of my best friends is adult ADHD, and kind of the way that I, growing up with her, how she was treated and different things, and you know, it's definitely like, I feel like a lot of people will feel very, very, very seen reading this if they also suffer from adult ADHD. But yeah, that's my little quick update. My family, I don't know what they're doing inside, but I want to update. It's freaking hot today. It's like 40 degrees Celsius, so I'm taking a break from the sun, but it's also been kind of rainy here in Vegas, and so there's like flies, and I hate flies, guys. Flies are like the bane of my existence. But yeah, I'm gonna take a break because I have a bit of a headache, so I'm gonna go outside and have some lunch, but I'm gonna continue reading. Like I said, I have a shit ton of tabs in here, and I'm excited to see where we're gonna go, but I'm heavily invested. Boob macaroons. That has never occurred to me before, that you could make boob macaroons. You just dot the tops of them to make them look like areolas. Like, that is so smart. Hello! So I want to come on quick. I'm not going to do a full recap right now because I need to go get ready for dinner because no one else is out here, and I stayed to finish my book. But I did finish the book, and did I love it? Yes, I freaking love the shit of it. Mazey Eddings has, well, now that she's written 2 books that I've loved, I can cement her as one of my all-time favourite authors who writes rom-coms, because her books are rom-coms and they're super fun, but they're also they each have like a serious topic as well to it. But I love this one. It was so good, and I can confirm that I did like the Aussie representation. Specifically, I even put it down, but there is like a point where where one, he references his nan, which is his grandma, and like in Australia, like a lot of us, like my nan is my nan, but like it's a common word that is used. And also, even though we don't, like, not everyone has prawns on the Barbie, but I preferred that she used the term prawn for like what they had versus shrimp, because like we don't have shrimp, we have prawn. And so I appreciated that. There was one thing that she ends up saying that I thought was just kind of like a quote that's a life lesson, kind of a term. And what she says is, "My life is too full to try and make room for someone that doesn't want to be there." Bruh. Bruh. That was such a good one. Anyway, there's flies everywhere. I can't even. I'm so over it. So I'm going to go inside, get ready for dinner, and give you guys a proper lovely update tomorrow. Okay, goodbye. Hello. Okay, so I am not looking great, but I'm back in New York. I got in last night. I got in at midnight from flying back from Vegas. Was that great? No, it was not great to get back to my apartment at 12:30 in the morning, have dinner, because I was like, oh, I just had dinner at like 1 in the morning. I don't want to go straight to bed with a full stomach because I haven't eaten since I left at 2 o'clock, and so had a whole thing of pasta. So it was 1 in the morning. I was like, well, I want to stay up, so I want to go right to bed to, you know, digestion. And then I actually stayed up until 5 in the morning watching K-dramas. Are we surprised? No, not really. But I had, because I'm watching You Are My Glory. It's a C drama and it's really good and I really like it. But I got no sleep, bruh. Got no sleep, bruh. It was not the point. That's not what was supposed to go down. But I fucked up, so it happened. I highly recommend this C drama. I love it to death. I'm almost done with it. And I don't want it to end because I really like it. On the airplane, I read an entire book, but I read a book for work. It's called What Happens After Midnight by K.L. Walther. Cover doesn't exist yet. Book kind of exists, but it's a YA rom-com and it has a lot of Taylor Swift references in it, a lot of Schitt's Creek references in it. It's really fun. It's set during senior year and a senior prank. But the book that I did start that I can talk to you guys about is called Filthy Rich Vampires. And I come across it the other day on like Amazon, I think, and it seemed kind of interesting. So I clicked on it last night, started reading it, not knowing anything about it whatsoever. So you're following Julian. He's one of the pure blood vampires, comes from a very like well-known, like well-bred family. He's been asleep for 30 years because he was like, I'm done with humanity, I'm just gonna PTFO and wake me up when the apocalypse is happening. His assistant wakes him up and is like, actually your mum wants you, and he goes, you woke me up from my 30-year nap from my mum, and she goes, well actually it's because it's time for the rites. And so every 50 years there's like a social season for the vampires, you know, kind of like historical romance social season where all the vampires rock up and have like lavish parties and kind of show off their wealth and yada yada yada. But then every couple of years after that, there's the rite where one of the pure blood vampires gets married to a familiar and has little pure blood vampire babies. And it turns out that it is his turn to have those babies and get married, but he does not want that. He does not want to get married whatsoever. Anyway, he's at this very fancy event and he smells this blood that he's like instantly like attracted to, and it is this human girl who's a cellist playing on a string quartet at this event. Does she know that she's surrounded by? No, she does not know she's surrounded by vampires. Her and her string quartet have no clue that they're playing for an entire vampire conglomerate. But that's what's happening. Anyway, he decides that he wants to protect her. She ends up finding out that vampires exist. He goes to compel her to forget. But guess what? She doesn't forget because his compulsion doesn't work on her, which is #1 in the suspicion route. Which just goes to tell you that there's no way she is 100% human if the compulsion doesn't work on her. I also do think that they are soulmates. Anyway, so she's, you know, this 22-year-old starving artist cellist, and he ends up asking her to be his fake girlfriend because he wants to get his mum off his back, and if he has a girlfriend, he is no longer eligible to get married during the rites. And she agrees because she's poor AF and needs money, and he is offering that to her, plus she's a virgin, she wants to give him her virginity, but he doesn't want her virginity. We don't know yet why he won't take her virginity, but there's something very sacred about virginity and vampire lore. I feel like I should know this, but I don't. So that's what it's about so far. It's been super fun. It's nothing like super special that's like, oh my god, I'm like reading, I'm like 5 stars. Where I'm at the moment, 30% mark, is a blood orgy. Do I know what a blood orgy is? No. Am I intrigued about this blood orgy? Yes, very intrigued by the blood orgy. So I'm excited to see where this has been going. I don't know, we'll see. So that's it. Bye-bye. Hello, okay, so I'm coming on to quickly close out this vlog since I did finish Filthy Rich Vampire last night. I did not continue to update you guys as I read it just because I actually found myself kind of just like moseying through it and just losing a bit of interest because the pacing really started to kind of get a little bit meh, and I decided to lose interest as I was reading it basically. So I did enjoy it, but I do think I'm just gonna give it like a 3 out of 5 stars. I don't know, I was hoping for a lot more and it started off very promising and I was like, oh, I think this could end up being like a new vampire romance series that I could really invest in, and then it just kind of like lost steam as it was going. I did enjoy the main character. I really loved her. Like Theo was really cool, but Julian started to get on my nerves mostly because he just kind of consistently, like he just got to the point where he just started to like leave her out of things and was like avoiding stuff just because he was like trying to protect her, and I got to the point where I was kind of like, bro, your miscommunication is awful right now. I do think that if you like Twilight a lot, I think you really would still enjoy this because there are a lot of things that kind of like reminded me of that, because he's like, I don't want to turn you, like I'm never gonna turn you, like don't say that, and she's like, oh, I want to be, anyway. Make any sense? Probably not, but I don't know, like don't discount this just because I didn't love it. Anyway, I'm gonna end the vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you did, please like button down below. If you want to see more of me, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, thanks so much everyone, bye bye.